Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood. The Unabomber blowing up. Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates. Aliens modified, men from apes. JFK shot in the head by the CIA. Bigfoot and the Mothman. Son of Sam talking to dogs again. Witches, ghosts, and goblins. Mysterious noise and hauntings. Dark arts in the skull and bones. Most celebrities are probably clones. So if you're feeling all alone, crack a beer and get stoned. I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew. We're here to entertain you. We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange.
Yes, I have my drink. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking dumb.
You done?
Yeah.
You ain't done poured your fucking beer in the wrong.
So everybody that's starting to
glass.
watch the video as we get this started, I proceeded to, I thought it was the ginger ale. I must be high. Me and Sawyer did smoke a joint. But I poured the whiskey in first, and then I was like, oh, ginger ale. And no, it was a Sleeman beer. So I have Sleeman beer and like 3 shots of whiskey in this. It's fun. It's fine.
It's fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, you want to fucking take her off? Want to take her off there, bud?
Taking her off.
Nice. This looks pretty good, everybody watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. If you're watching on Rumble and YouTube, some of the audio will get cut out at the beginning of us just starting to get everything fired up.
You're burning it too much. Calm her down, sunshine.
I'm sorry? What?
I'm sorry.
You're toasting the
You don't want to start sucking right away.
Okay.
He would know.
Prison was rough.
Prison was rough.
Cigar prison was rough.
I'm just kidding.
It made me smoke every single day of my
Haven't
life.
been to prison yet.
Made it
Made it this far.
You'll live.
Ouch. Smoked my fucking knee.
This lighter's pretty good, actually, not gonna lie. It's got the fucking 4 torches.
You just went through $35 worth of butane.
Hardly.
I did. $20? It's so funny. I was like, keep dying about that. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Welcome back to Strange Brew Podcast. You know what to do. You know what it is. I'm Tomcat, a.k.a. Tom Thompson, the Raptilian. Like, subscribe, follow us on Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, Strange Brew Podcast. You know what it is. Strange Brew Podcast. Find where it is. Find where it is, everybody. And you know me. You should by now, obviously, if you're listening to this. If you're a newcomer, get out of my country. But who else do I have on this show?
That's true.
My name's Sawyer.
He's the destroyer of self-esteem.
His own.
My own. Yeah.
He's going around and be like, fuck you, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, what, me? And he's like, yeah, you. He was like, this is about me, though.
And that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Projection is hate.
And
Upon himself. And I'm just like, wow, I enjoy your hatred toward yourself. We should be friends.
We should be homies.
We should.
you also want to kill yourself.
You'll also want to kill yourself by the end of it.
Yeah.
Thought about it once or twice. But anyways.
Oh, that's
Who are you?
gnarly.
Tell the people.
Everyone knows the man of many tastes.
Man may tastes.
It's Brett.
Yes. He likes tastes. That's what he's into.
All
he
tastes.
He tastes
Special taste.
Yeah.
Just not beer and ginger ale like this fucking animal.
That's fucking gross, man.
That's
I
a
can't believe
shanty.
I did that. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what they call that. That's
Fucking
good.
shanty. I thought that's
A shanty?
That's where they had all the people, the homeless people. They just put them in shanty fucking shanty town.
You know it was posh people that invented that.
So this is going to be fun. We're just, I had different ideas what we could do for this episode, having all 3 of us on. So we decided to go with some more mysteries because that's the foundation. That's the building blocks of the show was little short mysteries and strange stories. And especially when we're drinking, having fun, smoking cigars. So we decided to go with the mysteries of history. These are some mysteries of history.
The mysteries of histories.
So if you're a true fan of this show, if you remember the first episode ever we did of the show, it's pretty crazy. We talked about the first mystery. The original episode will eventually go on the Patreon. I had my buddy Mac on. We used to call it the Big Mac. He was on one time for the very first episode when I was like, I don't know what to do. Hey, you want to come over? I've known you for a little bit, and we were like, sure. And he was funny, so I was like, oh, we'll get some different characters in on this. And he was the first one to come on the show ever, once and only. And we talked about a bunch of mysteries, and I started to get I was like, I could do this. You know, we can get into this. So, to get your fucking phone down. This is not
Put it
phone
away.
time. Put it away. He's
Receive nudes later.
Damn it! Come on.
There's like Billy the one time. He's
Hiking
like,
on those
He's
names.
like, keep
Focus.
going. And he's like, I'm figuring out something. And I was like, no, you're not. In 1518, hundreds of residents of a town in the Holy Empire, the Roman Empire, the Holy
Roman?
Roman Empire. It's holy.
It should just be Roman
no,
Empire.
it was holy at first, and then it became very gay. It did.
Well, yeah. You're
If you look up Saturnalia, look up the episode me and Juan did. They would do these parties. This is what Christmas is founded on, is Saturnalia, and they would have these parties, and like slaves would be masters for a day. They'd fuck little boys and a bunch of weird shit. So they do everything perverted, everything that's like a flip of what the church wanted and shit.
Jesus.
But the church is responsible for some horrible shit too. You guys gotta admit.
Yeah,
They need
you're right.
Jesus. That's you. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, no, Jesus not being like, okay, let's go over here and slaughter everybody. That's not.
It's not so bad.
What are you talking about? We're just
Sometimes you got to do
That's
that.
what the excuse is. Some of the
we're
shit.
pulling the weeds in the
Yeah.
garden. What are you getting?
I know
at?
some of the shit now. People are like, you guys deserve it, like the colonizers or whatever. So I'm like, oh yeah, one genocide is okay for another genocide. That's fine. It's happened. Everyone that was around then is now dead, but somehow we have to be responsible for the curse of our ancestors and what they did to people, right? It's like, your turn now.
Great.
This is fun.
Yay, life.
Cool.
So this so-called dancing plagues, this is crazy. And these people started dancing in the Holy Roman Empire and didn't stop for 3 months.
They
3
danced
months.
For 3 months.
3 months they were dancing. The so-called dancing plague seized Strasbourg. Yes.
Sounds like a band.
Strasbourg.
Sounds like a power metal band.
So through the summer...
Strasbourg.
So the summer months, Frey Toffier was the beginning of the first victim. She danced to exhaustion for days, bloodying and bruising her feet until succumbing to her affliction. So she danced for days until her feet started fucking bleeding, and then she eventually just died. And you can dance to death.
Literally like that song. Dance to death.
You think Michael
That's a
Jackson
song?
did that?
Yeah.
No, he's...
Heads were
No,
rolling.
Michael Jackson surgery to
got
death.
poison, all the makeup. It's like, we need to fucking fix your face. He was on so many fucking meds.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that there's a fun conspiracy I like about this? So,
Okay, we were on the Roman Empire now.
I
we're
know,
on
but this
Michael
is
Jackson.
this
What
is a
happened?
fun offshoot. This is a fun offshoot.
Okay, fair enough.
So there's a conspiracy theory that the Jews that run the music industry didn't like that he was black, so they poisoned him and gave him whatever that stuff called lymphomago or whatever the hell the disease is called.
remember.
Okay, something
Yeah.
like that, some weird word.
I know what you're talking about.
And they gave it to him, and they turned the king of pop white because they didn't like that he was black. And I was like, it's a conspiracy theory, but it's a fun one. He
It
also
reminds me of the Dark Side of the Moon. Ever seen that? Mm-hmm. You are now Aryan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what the hell?
yeah, the Dark Side of the Moon. It's a great kind of conspiracy movie, and then they turn a black guy white.
Yeah.
Well, that's
He's like a really shitty white guy too. Just looks like an albino black guy.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, there's albino black people. Huh? Like, there's a guy, there's a Brother Ali, a rapper, and he looks like a white guy, but he's black. This is like so strange. So they were dancing forever. She danced till exhaustion. The dancing plague lasted from July to early September, at which point it subsided. Historians they wonder the root cause of this, but Strasbourg wasn't the only place it struck. Similar instances of dancing to death occurred in various parts of Germany, France, Holland, and Switzerland as early as 1373. At the time, the disorder was thought to be caused by hot blood. Whatever that is. The devil.
And so your blood just gets hot, and
And
then
you're like,
all,
fuck.
all of a sudden you just start
Yeah.
for like 3 months until you die.
Around the world,
Give me some of that hot blood.
It sounds like in the Kingsman movie, the second one, where they do drugs from the bad guy, and they all start like dancing and twitching.
Oh yeah, it's like a mind control thing.
yeah.
That's funny. It is weird because what caused this? Was it like some sort of hot blood or like a disease or something? Was it the devil or a curse from Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and entertainment. So this saint is like, you must dance to death. It is time.
You will dance yourself to death. Why is that? Why is it German?
Because they did go to German. It was Germany, France, Holland.
Yeah. They were in Rome, but somehow in Germany.
No, it's white people country. Back. I don't know where we were. It's not going to go back. So it did happen in Germany, France, and Holland, Switzerland. So what is it? Is it the devil? Is it a curse from this patron saint, the dancer? Or other theories involve, poison, spider bites, or possession of some sort. Bred by the environment of belief that some superstitious force was at large. So they're like, oh, we have to dance because the devil is here, and then they dance to death.
Well then.
They get like a parasite in their brain, because that's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe. That's a weird effect though if they just start dancing. Well, I wonder if they're saying like dancing, but they're really just like freaking tweaking,
seizuring out.
Yeah, for like 3 months, but it looks like they're dancing. I don't know.
It could have been something like there's a really real thing, which is ergot poisoning, which they blame the witch trials on. Is essentially that the wheat went bad. And they were still eating this like bad bread, and then it made them hallucinate. People thought they saw fucking demons and shit like that. Jesus. So they contribute this to the what happened in Salem. They think that could be part of it. People rule it out that it wasn't actually a part of it, but there is theories that it was, and that these people that were leaders and pillars of the community started tripping out and seeing demons because they were eating the fucking hallucination bread, and then they blamed it on these women. This little girl has an opinion of her own. Kill her. So like that's kind of what happened.
I kind of want to try some of that bread.
At some point, we will cover the Salem witch trials. It's a fun, fucked up topic, dude. Like it's just.
Can I get the mesmerizing loaf? I want to trip balls this afternoon.
Man, fuck that.
I want a hard PJ.
I want the recipe.
Well, all these women that were using maybe natural remedies and stuff like that, there was a lot of them were old hermits in the community, and they're like, their daughter becomes a harlot, and they're like, it's the devil, and then they were like, this old woman fucking cursed me, kill her, right? And then they like, if you can, we're gonna strap you to this chair and put a rock on you, and if you can swim still, then you are not a witch, but you are a witch, but if you're drowned, then you drown. And that's what they did. They do stuff like that. They strap him to a chair, push him off into the water, and then it would be like, well, if she breaks out of it, she's a witch. If she doesn't, she's dead. So it doesn't matter anyway. Jesus. It's so crazy. But a lot of the burning stuff happened in like France and overseas. A lot of the hangings mostly took place like in Canada and the United States mostly, but they were fun times. So what do you guys think it was? What do you think happened? Why do you think people were like, there was like, it's supposed to be hundreds of people died. Because they were danced until exhaustion. People think it was hysteria. So it was just like...
what are those mushrooms?
Yeah, maybe they took... But I don't know if it would make you dance to death.
For 3 months?
Like, I feel like if somebody ate a mushroom during that time, they'd be like, stop doing this. The mushroom would be like, don't do it.
What if they made mushroom wine?
That'd fuck you up, though.
What if it was just some freak fucking...
This shit is disgusting. I feel like my gut on the inside is rotting from the inside out.
I think you're gonna have no trouble shitting later.
Gonna have some of that ginger beer, literally.
What was I saying?
Dance for 3 months.
Yeah,
mushroom wine.
What do you think?
Shit later.
What if
AIDS.
it was like some... what if it was AIDS?
Sorry, I was just going through a list as I right now.
And the first couple strains of AIDS made you dance to death.
To me, it could have been some sort of disease or some shit. I think it was like a parasite of the brain.
I think so. But how many people? How many people were there at once? Because
supposedly, I think at one there was 400 people. 400.
Wait, how do 400
people dancing?
How do 400 people catch the exact same parasite?
That's what that's what people think it's hysteria. So the idea is look at mass formation, whatever mass mass formation is that what I'm thinking of? I'm fucking high. But mass formation psychosis or whatever. But like conditioning and what that can do. Like one person is like, holy shit, there's a fucking invisible airborne virus that's gonna kill everybody, and then everyone's freaking out, right? And the idea is it spreads to people. See, this chick is dancing, right? And she's dancing, and then one guy comes up and is like, whoa, why is she dancing? Okay, he starts dancing, and then somebody else is like, why are they dancing? Why are you guys dancing? And they're just like fucking in their own minds. It's dancing, not tripping out.
Oh, well, yeah, if they're tripping out, then...
It doesn't have to be tripping out. If, say, there was like 2 people that caught this fucking disease or had some moment of hysteria and the brain was breaking down because maybe they were eating their ergot bread or whatever, and then they did, like 3 people are dancing, and then people are like, why are they doing this? And they must be doing this for a reason. I need to also do it. And that's like hysteria. That's how it kicks in. This has happened numerous times. We did a whole episode about mass hysteria with this, an actual girl, the first girl on the fucking podcast, and Billy's friend at the time. And we were talking about there's like schools, there's a whole fucking monastery of nuns that started meowing for some fucking reason.
Weird.
Yeah, and just being like meow, like a bunch of them. So it's like this thing that your mind can do is it wants to adapt and it needs tribal instincts. So it starts to be like, well, if this person's doing it, I'm also gonna do it.
Weird.
That's like the experiment that the KGB did, where they studied these people, they fed them information for I think 3 or 4 months, and they told them this is what is true. They fed them propaganda and was like, this is accurate information, data. And then within I think 3 to 6 months or something like that, they were able to figure out that they showed them the truth, and the people wouldn't believe it. After a couple of months, these people were like, no, that's not real. And like, yeah, we were brainwashing you. That was propaganda. We tricked you. And they're like, no, you didn't. That's the real information. And then they showed them the truth, and they wouldn't believe it. That's why it shows these people that are like, oh, COVID killed my uncle. It's like, I don't know if it did.
COVID made you kill your uncle?
yeah.
What?
I was locked inside
COVID.
for so long that I fucking suffocated him. I'm
Well,
kidding.
That happened a lot during
My
the
uncle did die.
27
My uncle
miles,
did die
28.
during COVID, but he died because he was a drug addict. So it wasn't COVID. But
They
there's
tested him for COVID,
Well,
and it was COVID that killed
They put
him.
COVID at the end of every death, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like he got hit by a truck. It was COVID.
I know, and they added them on, and then there was people that people die of the flu every year. It was I truly believe it's the flu.
I could totally see that. He's got a gunshot wound to the head. Test him for COVID. Yeah, he's got
There's
it.
definitely
Yeah,
jokes.
COVID. That's what did it.
So-
Not the bullet to the cranium.
Who were the Green Children of Woolpit? According to William...
Say that again?
The Green Children of Woolpit. According to William Newburgh, a 12th century English chronicler, I'm guessing that's like a fucking newspaper writer, I'm assuming.
Fuck should I know?
2 children, a boy and a girl, appeared in Suffolk at some point during the reign of King Stephen.
King Stephen.
In 1135 to 1154, the youngsters were completely green in their persons and clad in garments of strange color and unknown materials. Found by men out in the field, these children were taken back to the village of Woolpit and initially refused all food but raw beans. So this chronicle guy and this king, the youngsters were completely green, wearing strange material, found by men outside the field of the village of Woolpit, and all they ate was beans for some reason. They would try to give them other food, you know. The village big titty bitch comes and is like, "Do you want some of the milk?" And they're like, "No, just beans."
They were gay.
yeah. When I think it was a
were
brother
vegans.
and sister.
I want that vegan milk. What?
I want beans.
I don't
Love
know
that
why.
bean milk.
Maybe that's why they're green.
Crush up some beans and turn it into a bean.
Maybe they're-
Do you have pork and beans?
You got any pork and beans?
When they eventually began eating a better diet, Newberg related that they changed their origin of color, and with time they became like ourselves, and also learned our language. We fed them beans, and they turned white again. It's fucking weird. When they asked where they came from, the children said they were from the land of Saint Martin. Although there was no idea where they had no idea where this was. They described their home as a place where the sun does not rise above our countrymen. Our land is a little cheered by its beams. It's a little cheered by its beams of the sun, not beans. Beams of the sun. We are content with twilight, which among you precedes the sunrise or the following sunset. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say, little child? Why are you talking like that? Exactly who the Woolpit children were, if they even existed, has been puzzled historians and non-historians alike. Like, I was debating on doing this for a Patreon episode because there is more meat to it if you start diving through some of the stuff and like accounts of the stories. Theories range from the youths have been being poisoned or simply malnourished, although the more outlandish idea revolved around them being aliens.
Little green aliens.
Yeah, but they have green skin, but like the grays look like some bulbous looking fucking.
For all I
weird.
know, they could have some sort of jaundice turn into yellow.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like,
Yeah.
maybe their kidneys were shutting down.
That could be true.
Like, who knows? Like, maybe they just had a pure alkaline diet and it just made their skin a little bit green.
Yeah, I heard it's really good for you though.
Alkaline?
I got a whole book about it.
Yeah? Think you're fucking fancy with your books and shit?
I am. I feel fancy. I have a whole library.
There you go.
Fancy books. Get them.
We just burn the ones that involve.
Before they started getting burned by Trudeau.
That's why I'm doing it. I get all these books in case they try to take all away this medicinal medicine bucket. They're trying to do it, so I'm like, I might as well get the books so I can go around Ontario and find them. You know?
What if those kids just got dragged through the grass by a horse or something?
Yeah, what if they were just like...
No, but their skin was actually green.
Yeah, but like...
You ever seen somebody green out? They look like that shit. Maybe they smoked way too much weed, bro.
Wait, what if they were
stoned?
hot?
They were
Yeah.
just stoned as shit. Oh my
You've
God,
seen
it's
someone
aliens.
green out, right? I've seen
Yeah.
people actually go green. Like,
Oh,
you know,
really?
I was telling you that story, but when I did...
Yeah, because they're about to puke.
I know. When I did what's that drug we were talking about? Fucking
LSD?
no.
AIDS?
The illegal one. I can't
Which?
think of this. That you smoke.
PCP?
It's salvia.
Salvia.
When I did that trip and I saw that chick turn into a fucking, she was not the greatest looking girl. Quinn, right? She was. You don't know her last name, whatever. And she turned into she turned green to me. Like she looked like a witch. And then later on, like a couple of years later, we smoked like these crystal bowls at my buddy Mike's house. She was with this girl I was dating. She was her friend or whatever. And she turned green. We were all looking at her like, yo, you look green right now. And she's like,
She's about to puke.
just uncomfortably high, and we saw like she looked pale as fuck, but green. And I'm like, you're greening out. So these kids were made as high as fuck, just like.
Oh man, I'm so high right now.
Or they got lost in the woods, started eating some fucking random shit.
Yeah.
You know, some poisonous mushroom, right? So the most likely explanation were the children were immigrants from Greenland. I'm just kidding. Were immigrants from Flanders who at some point during the turbulent years of King Stephen's on the throne were orphaned. So I don't know. There was animosity between the Flemish and the English. So it can be seen their actions of the Stephen's successor, Henry II. He targeted the Flemish individuals living in England specifically, casting them out of England after he took the throne in 1154. So I don't know. They're immigrants that are green, I guess. I don't know what the fuck. Where are you looking? Your elbow?
No, I was falling asleep.
Oh, fuck off. Flanders Field?
They weren't from Flandersfield.
No, they were Flemish, they think. So like, Flemish people are green, right?
Maybe they're just Irish.
Any Flemish viewers, leave us a comment. Tell us.
Flemish
Where-
viewers?
where
Who the
where-
fuck record
Are
you came
you
from?
green?
Where
Are you
is
from Flemland?
Where is
Where is it?
Is it
Flemland?
Finland? It's Isn't
Flemish?
Are they from? Is Flemish people from Finland?
No, Finnish people.
We
are
don't
from
have internet out here, so we can't fact check anything.
Well, that's what happens, right?
Finland. Was it?
Ginger drill, like,
According. All right.
Just whacked me in the back.
Okay.
enjoy
So
it.
I did.
yeah, I'm gonna finish this so I can. Yes, I'm already done. I need no beer this time.
There's no beer on the table, so there's that beer. Don't grab the Corona.
He'll pee his pants.
Yeah. Corona.
Shit, man.
Holy shit, man.
What?
No, this is what Sawyer said.
Oh, you want some sort?
No, I'm good.
For those who are watching, Sawyer is what you call a weaker male, and he can't handle the wild turkey.
I gotta drive.
What does a turkey sound like, Sawyer? I can't do that.
It sounds better if a turkey's giving a blowjob.
Oh God.
Try it. What does a turkey sound
I'm
like?
not getting a blowjob from a turkey.
Try it. What does it sound like?
Yeah, what does it sound like?
What?
I'm sure you know.
The sound of a turkey giving head?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also referred to as the codex gigas. Yeah, it's Giga Chad. The codex,
turkey?
the codex gigas, or the Devil's Bible, is a massive medieval tome written in the 13th century by a monk who is said to have made the deal with the devil in order to finish it. So I can't finish this book. Can you please, Lord Savior, Lucifer, can you please help me finish this goddamn book?
Why has he got a Kentucky accent?
I don't know. It's the only accent I can kind of do. So it's like always where my voice goes, I'm trying to fucking make fun of somebody. Because there's many
wild
times
turkey.
where I'm
And please, Lord Lucifer, could you
British.
please supply me with a bucket of chicken?
Yeah, can you do British? Because I always got to hear it first.
Why is he black?
He's not black.
So like Colonel Sanders.
He wants Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, I thought you were hinting he was black.
No. Well, they do love
Sir, can I have some
fried
watermelon?
chicken. Do you want to know why they love fried chicken?
Please tell me why.
Because everybody loves fried chicken.
Yes.
Not everyone. I don't like fried chicken.
Fuck you.
I can't. I mean, I
I've
could.
watched you eat 12 pieces of fried chicken.
That wasn't fried chicken. That was just chicken. That was breaded and then deep fried. It was different.
Forgive me. Deep fried.
Can you do a
Big
Trump?
difference.
Can you do a Trump?
Really big.
Can you do a Trump? Brett could have done that better. He usually use it. It's on point.
What would you like me to say as President Trump?
That's pretty good. You're good there. That's good. So where's the impression master? You know, you do that at work a lot where there's some ones that I'm like, it's fucking dumb.
Homer, why would you leave the fucking welder turned on when you're on lunch break? You lazy piece of shit.
To start, that's why I'm trying to, like, Brett said he wanted to try to do it more on the podcast, is get his impressions out, because we talk about so much random shit. It's hard to frame it around a way where we're able to do it. But I try to do it all the time with Aaron, because we're talking about something in Britain, and then I'm like trying to read it in British, and he was like, "You do it good for
British?
in English, and then it goes for good for like maybe 2 minutes, and then he's like, all of a sudden it's like Jamaican or fucking East Indian. It just like goes, and I'm like,
I was gonna say, do they write it like they would talk?
I always gotta go British. Come down to the fucking governor. Yeah, no, fucking just fucking.
Oi, love.
Fancy
coming round the estate for a nice spot of tea?
we had a revolution. Oh, see, that goes to fucking some
goes straight to Kentucky.
1940s fucking guy.
Well, I say,
I'll talk about the Devil's Bible.
I was attempting to do a Kentucky accent, but it sounded like a racehorse manager.
Here comes the Devil's Bible, a massive medieval tome written in the 13th century by a monk who made a deal with the devil in order to finish it. According to the legend, the monk had been sentenced to be walled up alive as his punishment for breaking his vows. That's fucked up. It's like, oh, you broke your vows, you piece of shit. He fucks the horse out back or something. Like, whoa, man, what are you doing out there?
Why is he doing it, or the horse?
Because it's gotta be the most absurd shit, like fucking perverse, weird shit. And then they're like, motherfucker, and then they like start walling him up like Thomas the Train, man. There's an episode of Thomas the Train where they're like, Thomas is bad, so they fucking build bricks around him and they seal him in. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a kid's show? I used to watch that shit, and I remember the episode. Someone was talking about it, and I was like, that's fucked up. The conductor guy, whatever, he's like, yeah, Thomas has been bad today, and he's like crying, and they keep putting bricks in front of him and like building him up, and I'm like, that's ruthless.
Jesus.
It's a kid's show. Like, he's been bad, so let's put him in a fucking brick oven, you know? So this is what happened to this monk. They were like, he broke his vows, so they started walling him in alive as punishment. He promised the monastery that if they would let him live, he would write a book that would contain all human knowledge in a single day. I'll do it, man. He'd be like, I'll do it, man. Trust me. You let me out. I'll fucking write. Oh, I could not do that. I'd get like halfway through, and it would just be me.
You get the title done, you're like, fuck, I need a big old blunt.
I've thought about writing a book, but I feel like I'd have to like do with all my I would like to, not gonna lie, write a fiction book, but have it based in some truth around conspiracies. You know, like a lot of like the reptilians. Just write some out of my imagination. There's a lot of people, like my buddy Juan's writing a book, but he's super into the occult and stuff, so he's writing it about the homunculus. So me and Billy came on this episode recently on Monday, where Juan, my buddy, is like the homunculologist expert, and a homunculologist. This thing is a creature that you can create from real magic, and Juan believes that this is possible. That there's like chaos magic and things that you like can invoke things to bring them into reality, right? CERN's doing it by trying to smash particles together. Mm-hmm. It's funny to see Billy's reaction, because you'll cut your hand and put some blood in it, and then come into a fucking hole in the ground, and you bury it, and then like this fucking, and then you check and you do some magical spells, and you check everyone. There's this little creature that's inside, and he can do your bidding. He can run around. He can fucking do your laundry, go to work. I was like, can I fucking teach him how to run the laser? Just send out like this little fucking version of me that's like fucking this tall. He's like, I'm here to run the laser. Like, what happened to you, Thomas?
He's just standing on the computer keyboard.
weird-
And then we can literally do the mini-me stop humping the laser because my little thing will just be like this. Now we're using all the time at work. I'm just humping shit. I was doing it in front of Sawyer and Brett like 3 times in that 1 week. I was like, because we're trying to put things together, and I was like, here, let me fucking.
And now you know why I do that.
It was so funny.
You've entered madness.
But there's a lot of weird shit, right? So I'm like, I think kind of everything is possible. There's really weird stuff to do with occult magic and people that believe that this stuff exists and you can practice it, and like it's like manifestation, believing something so much that it comes true. So and to fulfill this promise, the monk sold his soul to Lucifer because he's like, I can't fucking finish this book, all human knowledge, one day. I can't do it.
Are you crazy?
So the real basis of this legend is likely a fact that even though the manuscript is extremely long, it appears to have been written just by one person over a relatively short period of time, creating using more than 160 animal skins and requiring 2 people to even lift it. 2 people to lift a book. Yes.
the big book.
Crazy.
I know.
Where is it now?
So the codex gigas.
Alright, tell your question to fuck off.
Well, that's what we're getting to. The Codex Gigas contains a complete Latin translation of the Bible, as well as multiple other texts, including works of Hippocrates and Cosmas of Prague. Not to mention the medical formulas, texts on exorcisms, and a large depiction of the devil himself. 12 pages of the original manuscript are missing. What they might have contained remains a mystery. Some rumors say the pages contain the secret satanic texts, perhaps even mentioning a method to conjure the devil himself. So they have this somewhere. I can't remember. It's in some museum, and they've pretty much translated most of it, I think, if not all of it. But there is pages missing and shit. But there is all this theory that it came from like human skin and shit, and you know,
The perfect margarita mix. Now, what you want to do is get the perfect.
that's what's in it.
It's just a whole bunch of drink menus. It's like, what?
So
This is the key to human knowledge. Like, yeah, you guys love getting drunk.
The perfect pina colada.
would you
Chapter 2, a diagram of Satan. Whoa!
So, if there was like if you're around somewhere where they discovered like ancient wine, would you drink it if you saw someone else drink it a day before and he was fine? Would you be like, okay, I'll try it?
Yeah.
After seeing someone, I would. As long as like I'll wait a week maybe, and then I'll be like, okay, well you're
As long as
fine.
it's not wine. It's the one.
Well,
alcohol.
that's
It's the one alcohol you don't want to drink after centuries. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, you want to try some of this vinegar? Okay, I'd love
But
to try
they
some of
didn't,
the vinegar.
Yeah, it'd probably be just acid at that.
Liquor more prominently in like Egyptian societies, they drank like and created wine and stuff. It was probably a lot different than what we do now, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have like liquor, you know?
Liquor.
So that shit's weird. Brett, you heard about the Devil's Bible.
I heard it was like apparently massive, and apparently what the whole thing for the entire book is that there's no writer's fatigue. There's no there's no perfection of writing, because as you go through, you get better as you continue through. There is nothing that suggests that he was fatigued or got better or got worse or anything.
Just consistent.
It's so consistent, it's concerning, because no human does that. Humans have nothing but flaws. And when you have something that's fucking flawless and it's made of fucking flesh and it has a lot of shit in it,
Did your Lord and Savior Jesus have flaws?
no, not a single one.
Did you watch that Billy Carson thing I sent you?
Not even one.
Did you watch that Billy Carson thing I sent you?
No,
You gotta watch that shit. It's fucking fascinating. This is like dude. He's like this. He's a historian, but he's into like astrophysics. Like he's done all these. It's pretty cool. He's got an extensive background. Smart dude, and he talks about the Anunnaki and the connection to Jesus, and Jesus is probably Thoth, and either reincarnated somehow, and they can trace his bloodline. Like it's fucking fascinating shit. They probably have it at some point, and that they could have messed up the interpretation of it being a virgin, because the way they when they were translating it, virgin actually they probably meant young young girl, not virgin, but just young girl, so that she could have got impregnated by somebody. But he's like, there is many stories that are this virgin birth concept, and it all goes back to the Anunnaki and them planting their seed. And Thoth was maybe Jesus, and he was the keeper of like all knowledge and stuff like that. But they were trying to enslave humanity, essentially. And then Thoth got, and I think his father were like, I don't want to do that. And they kind of flipped the script and they started teaching us about their knowledge, and that's where we get Atlantis and shit from. It's fascinating. And then they think that either Jesus was taught by Thoth, or that Jesus was Thoth reincarnated. Because you see these similar stories in I'm reading David Icke's book, and it's like, it talks about these ancient Viking stories that match just different names, labels for shit, but matches almost exactly the Bible story. Mm-hmm. Stories passed down for centuries, so there's got to be a connection to something and somewhere. You should watch it, man. You'd be like fascinated. And it's got, Andrew Schultz. Yeah. It's his show, and he had Billy Carson. It was great. Like, it was great because it was funny. They were like, he's like, we're not fact checking any of this shit. And he's like, no, you can all look this up. And he's like, no, we're just having fun with this. We're not gonna fact check anything. Like, it's a good time, man, because it's interesting. And eventually we'll be talking about the Anunnaki in no time. So this is a weird one. And since the 18th century, hundreds of incredibly well-preserved human cadavers have been discovered in the peat bogs of northern Europe. These bodies had been forensically dated to as far back as 8000 BCE. The famous Talmud men, discovered in 1950 by two Danish farmers in a small town in Denmark, lived in the pre-Roman Iron Age of the 3rd century BCE. He was well preserved, and his the contents of his stomach were actually well established where he lived. So they're able to take, because he was well preserved and his organs were, so they are able to test his organs to figure out his DNA and where he came from. And despite the different demographic makeup of the corpses in terms of age, sex, and social standing, which I don't know what that would mean. I don't know how they would tell social standing by like, oh, this one was an inbred, this one was not. I don't know what that means. So there is one mysterious and unexplained commonality in their composition. They seem to all have been deliberately executed and placed in the bog. With no explanation to why this method of disposal would be utilized, researchers speculate that perhaps they were sacrifices or social outcasts. So it's pretty trippy because
they were Sawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fair. So I would have been mummified and thrown in a bog.
They would be, because they executed them.
Sacrifice you first.
But they could have sacrificed them, because there was that even in Aztec cultures, which is the craziest shit ever. They would have men fight, or there's an episode we could do about extreme historical sports that I was looking at. And it's obviously talking about like just some of the things that the Africans did or the indigenous cultures in Mexico, but obviously the Aztecs playing fucking soccer with heads and shit. Oh, yeah. Really fucked up.
You did it really hard. Like, what if you like kick the forehead?
Fuck my toe.
I'm sure it would soften up after a while.
Yeah, so fucked up. But they would get people to battle warriors, and then they would sacrifice the strongest warrior. So you'd almost be like, you're gonna die, or you're gonna die. Do you want to die in battle, or do you want to die with me cutting your head off while you're on mushrooms? You choose, because that's what they would give them mushrooms. Hallucinogenic mushrooms, psilocybin, and then they would put them on the altar on the fucking pyramids and be like, here you go, fucking gods, and they would chop the guy's head off. Imagine being that guy. But like, here you go, Quetzalcoatl, the reptilian god that they fucking praised. Here's some fucking heads of this soldier this warrior I killed. Is that fucked up, man?
That's crazy.
Okay. Mushrooms is like a thing you're supposed to do outside, be peaceful, laughing with your friends. Yeah. You're just gonna laugh a lot.
Yeah, that's
it's like,
misuse.
This guy's like, ha 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 ha, as he's getting his like head cut off. Like, what the fuck? Fun times.
Yeah, that's dark.
We'll just stage that for Brett when like we give him a high dose of mushrooms. We'll just come out with like a headdress on, and then he'll be like, "What the fuck are they doing?" He'll be like, "It's time, man." And then he'll be like, "What? What are we doing?"
Chopping your head off, bud.
This is
sacrifice you to the shroom gods.
So if anything happens, just so you know, this is evidence.
This is a early murder confession.
Yeah, I'd say
we're not gonna kill you, Brett. Johnny needs a father.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's funny. Yeah, Brett's raising a deer.
which is
A
adorable.
doe, a deer, a female deer,
I don't know the rest of that.
a queer.
They tried to spit in my beer.
So I shoved a spear in his rear.
Then he shoved
Spear
his
was
ween
actually-
in my ear.
At some point, if we could do extensively, I really want to do this episode at some point, but I think it'd be long. I was telling Sorcha about torture methods, like throughout. Like I don't know if we could do 2 parts, maybe.
And
instead.
not the sexy ones.
No, like they would lower people on the spike through their ass,
Oh,
and they would
pyramid?
force them. Yeah, and they would force them through
Yeah.
it. So this
Apparently,
like,
when they were like whores.
yeah,
No,
women
that's when
too.
they put a thing in the
Oh yeah, I know.
JJ, and then they hit a notch and it springs out and it goes.
Or they would crank it. Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's like
There's
a
one
painful
where they
butt plug.
there's a pyramid where they put
Yeah.
weight in their feet and they keep adding weight daily.
Oh god.
And then their assholes just slowly getting opened up, man.
Yeah, they just basically eventually split in half.
There's some fucking gay guy out there that's like, I like that. It's all nuts.
Can I find that like Pornhub or something? Oh my god.
Time for a trip to the museum.
Yep. So this is weird. So Theodore. Oh, so after they committed a crime, most criminals flee the scene. This one's weird. Hoping to put the distance between themselves and law enforcement. Theodore Connies had been a different instinct entirely. In October 1941, he broke into the home of Philip and Helen Peters in Denver, Colorado. When Philip confronted the trespasser who was raiding his icebox at the time, like, hey, that's my liquor, boy. What are you doing?
Another Kentucky man.
The Kentucky man.
Connies finally beat him, then fled to the attic. Connies decided to hide out there and remain in the attic even as Helen went about her life in the house. Not knowing her husband's killer was lurking upstairs. After months of hearing unsettling noises, like just fucking porn and shit. Like this is the fucking 40s, so it's like he finds some old like Hustler magazines. Then it wouldn't be Hustler; it'd be like some lady in black and white, like with a fucking one of those Japanese fans, and that's all the picture would be. You know those pictures, those old school nudie photos. Where
No, I don't. Tell us more.
I'm a vintage guy. I've said this. I've made this on the podcast.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like vintage porn. That's too vintage for me.
Vietnam, 1960.
That's too. Yeah, that's too vintage for me though. Yeah, I'm like Jeffrey Dahmer's cousin. I like just looking at Vietnamese women getting murdered. Just kidding. Do you know one of the? That was Richard Ramirez. Never mind, that was Richard Ramirez. His cousin came back from Vietnam and was like, "Hey, fucking, you want to see something cool? Here's what we did to women in Vietnam." And he showed Richard Ramirez this, and Richard Ramirez was like, the Night Stalker was like, I kind of like that. That looks like something I'd like to do. And they started breaking into people's houses and R-wording them, whatever. It's fucking Rumble, hello, YouTube. And he like learned this from his cousin, like Green Beret tactics, like military, like Vietnam tactics, how to break into people's houses and stay stealthy and all that shit. And then he learned it, used it to his advantage. And Richard Ramirez will be talking about him in length at some point. It's Billy's favorite serial killer. It's his favorite. And he would, because he was ruthless, and that's what Billy always talked about, how ruthless he was, and just like not giving a shit. And he would like anybody, any age, he would R-word. It doesn't matter. Old ladies, young girl, it doesn't matter. Guys, I don't think he would do, but a lot of old women.
God.
Yeah, he got some
mean
fetish.
bush.
Heard of that
Take a
guy
weed
before.
whacker
He's a
down.
sick fuck.
Yeah, he is a sick fuck. But he would, when he was in jail, he started exposing the Satanist shit, right? He was like, these people are not, you're these kids out in the forest fucking over a goat skull. He's like, these are your politicians, your bankers, your lawyers that really praise this shit.
Take it from me. I'm a R-word.
I'm one of them. He was a vowed Satanist.
He's an arpist.
Yeah.
Arpist. We'll call him an artist. But like,
Blood splatter.
yeah, of unconsent artist.
He was the gaping groper. You could
Call him
think
the
of
graper.
the graper. There you go.
Graper.
We'll start using slang now, man. That's like the best way to do it. So it's crazy. So like after months, she's hearing noises and shit, like grunting, shit moving. It's like that's normal. That's fine. Finding household items out of place. There's like open beer cans and shit. Like, where'd
Someone
this
shit
come
in the
from?
toilet and flush. Like,
Yeah.
pretty sure I didn't eat corn. Okay.
Why is there blood? Fucking discovering missing food. Helen moved with her son to another city. So she's like hearing all this shit, seeing weird things move, doesn't realize it's in the attic. I don't know how dumb this bitch is. But like, and then she's like, oh, I'm just going to move out of here. So Connie's, that Theodore, remained after enough neighbors reported strange going-ons on the empty house. It's an empty house. And there's like, oh, she moved away. And they're just like, there's weird shits happening in the house. You know, he's got late night parties. He's watching Jerry Springer during the day on full blast. Like, I don't even know what's going on over there. Did you sleep with this woman? And it's like, oh, that's all you hear. It's like, here we go. We got, can you guess the tranny? You know what I mean? You all remember.
Yeah, that's getting harder to do these days.
This is the 1940s. That doesn't. Wait, what?
I know. I'm just kidding. This is the 1940s.
You know, there's one thing that China does better than any North American could possibly do.
If you're about to say trans people.
The trans people. You cannot tell them apart. You look at them, you're like, I think it's time for a second flood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
agreed.
Well, the thing is, it is 1941, so he's like up there, be like, Mein Kampf. Weird. I kind of see what he was thinking. I'm just kidding.
Maybe I should
Everybody.
scatter around the house like a dirty little rat.
Just kidding, everybody. Fucking calm down.
Chill.
Chill. Communists are the problem, anyways, man. They got a lot of funding behind them. It's not good, man. So give somebody some fucking whiskey.
No. Yeah. Chicken.
So this is so funny. So police finally conducted a search and finally found the Denver Spider-Man. Because technically he earned his nickname from both his tall and slender appearance. So it was Billy hiding in an attic, everybody. And the fact that he lived with spiders. What a crazy fucking story that, like, this guy kills this woman's husband with his buddies. Like, they break in. I think there was at least a couple of them, or maybe it was just him because he broke into the home, it says. And then he fled, but they didn't fucking realize that he just went upstairs. That's like the craziest shit in the world, to be like, oh, we had this crazy break-in, my husband's dead. The police come months later. She's like still mourning the death of her husband from this maniac.
Still there in the lazy boy.
Yeah, it's like, well, I can't leave him now.
Like, I don't know what happened.
And this guy's upstairs in the attic, just eating fucking cans of old beans that he found up there. It reminds me of the scene in, you ever seen Family Christmas, Vacation Christmas? You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Where he's in...
he's watching films, but they're actually just blank.
Yeah. So you've seen Christmas
shit.
Vacation, right? National Lampoons. It's a good 80s film, a Christmas film. It's good. I guess you never saw it.
It's not a Christmas film.
It is.
That was a horror film.
He comes out, he cuts down this big tree and he comes out with the Jason mask and his neighbors are like, hey, and he's like, hey, and he starts rubbing the chainsaw. It's a good film, man. You would like it. I know you're not allowed, but you would like
cringe.
Wait, what does he say again?
it. I can't remember.
Where are you gonna put a tree like that?
Oh yeah.
Bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah. It's a
You got a lot of nerve talking to me like that.
And
I wasn't talking to you. And he looks at his wife.
It's a Chevy Chase and shit, like old school SNL.
Oh yeah.
Shit. It's great, man. And then so he gets locked in the attic, and it's so fucking cold out there. He starts putting all his.
Do you mean attic?
Attic, yeah. I said addict. You're right. I said this before on another show, and Billy said the same thing. And he gets locked up in the attic. Where Anne Frank mysteriously went, and then maybe wrote a thing before a pen existed.
He did an Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Well, he got trapped up there because like the collapsible staircase got closed up. So he's up there rummaging around for like old Christmas, for things to keep warm, and he finds like old Christmas presents that he's stashed from years before and forgot to put out.
What was the Anne Frank conspiracy? Aaron told me that there is theories that either she didn't write it or something like that. Because she either used like pencil before there was lead pencils, or there was the ink or the pen that she used. They said that she wrote it before it existed. Yeah, so there's conspiracy theories about that. Everything, man, everything.
Nothing is as it seems.
No, and if they're smashing fucking
as it is.
particles together and erasing history and all the other shit that they're doing, then like, how do you know what's real and what's actually what's factual and what's not factual? Because they only want to mold your mind around the opinions that they want you to have. You know.
I believe it's born on Canadian soil. It's Canadian.
Yes. But you have to be here for generations. You built this country. That's what I think.
Okay, well, I gotta go back.
Well, I'm vaccinated. I'm not gonna live to be 40.
You'll be fine. You got the bad batch. Remember, there's different batches of that shit.
Maybe, I don't know.
There was different batches. We can't talk about this on YouTube though.
Nothing happened to me.
The first gen was all the good
That's
stuff.
what you think.
Second
There is turbo cancer everywhere.
turbo cancer.
That's a real thing. I know
Come
people
get
now.
it.
So it's like it's not good.
It's got that turbo sound.
That's why
I can
everyone's
feel
like,
my life.
well, that's why a lot of people were like, "Why nothing happened to me?" And it's just like, well, until it does, or the fact that it's happened to people because there was
The
different.
reason you're not getting cancer is because you are fucking cancer.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Well, if all it did is like fry my sperms and I can't have kids,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
that's
could
fine.
do that. But the thing is, we can't even talk about this shit on YouTube. But the thing is that there could have been different batches, right? Because they admitted this, right?
Yeah.
So the morning of February 9th, 1955
Pay attention
I
now.
heard you, boy.
was unlikely for any other people in Denver, England. Devon, England, England. Not only because the deep snow had settled overnight, they noticed something quite unsettling. Series of mysterious snowy footprints in various areas of the south of East Devon. Their combined length was an estimate 40 to 100 miles. That's a big gap. The particular nature of the prints only added to the people's unease. Each hoof print was 4 by 6 inches in size, and each spaced out by 16 inches. The pattern of the tracks suggested that a two-legged creature, not on four-legged ones, no, had made them. More alarming, nothing seemed to stop them, including walls or streams. This went up and over rooftops, through bodies of water. News of the extraordinary discovery soon spread across the country. And this is in 1855, everybody. Leading all of Britain to speculate on what visited Devon that night. Although people have put forward numerous theories, ranging from balloons to badgers, no one has been able to pinpoint the origins of the prince. A number of people even claim it was an elaborate hoax. In the absence of the final explanation, some believe the devil visited the fucking Devon that February morning and made the prince. Was it the devil?
No, it was Krampus.
It could have been fucking Krampus, man. He's showing up, man.
Was it Krampus? We will never know.
Would I do William Shatner?
William Shatner.
It does
I
Over
fucked
walls and
a goat.
goats and trees and through goats. And
I know
out of
what
trees.
it was. It was Philip the Goat. All the Dagalon fans. It was Philip the Goat. He was around back then, man. He was fucking doing coke and kicking ass. That's what he was doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
The tough ass goat.
That's the leader of Dagalon, is a goat that sniffs coke and causes a lot of ruckus, man.
That's
Too
a
much ruckus.
That's a ruckus goat.
Yeah. Fucking eating cans and shit. Be like, fuck you, Trudeau. And he like kicks him in the
Cans
nuts.
and shit? Why would you eat cans and just shit? That's weird.
They do eat cans.
That's what
And
East
shit.
Indians do. Sorry.
I'm gonna eat some cans and shit.
Sounds
I
nutritious.
love my cow.
Must be Hindi. Hindi goat.
Yeah, the Hindi goat, man.
Jesus Christ.
They had poop battles, man. I saw footage. Not everybody. That's fucking. That's
We
something
used,
way
at my old
different.
job, we used to throw chicken heads at each other.
That's funny.
It was fun. Yeah.
You ever do chicken pocket?
What the fuck is that?
That's so funny. When we lived at Swiss Chalet, there would be like all these extra like pieces of chicken, right, in the drawer and stuff like that. So it'd be like you have your like uniform on, and one little pocket, like chicken pocket, and you put like hot chicken, and it would like burn your nipples and shit. Some of the shit you do in a restaurant, like if you were caught bending over takeout, you would get whipped by a spatula. And then someone, my buddy Alex did it to me. I was like, "Fuck you, man!" So I did it to him, and you could see a clear imprint of the spatula with the holes on his ass.
That would hurt.
Oh yeah, we
Was it
fucking
a hot spatula?
yeah. No, we just like hard as fuck, boy. It's just like, yeah, it was like you get
You
caught.
don't know the kitchen game.
Yeah.
You better get rid of
Chicken
Rumble.
pocket was fucking funny because Billy did it to me the one day. He's like, chicken pocket, and it was hot as fuck, and I had burn marks on my nipple.
We used to get,
and I was like, you fucking piece of
We
shit.
used to get chicken. We used to get chicken guts by the bucket at my old job, my high school job. The one guy went to like
Chicken
grab a
bucket.
handful of chicken guts and throw it at another guy while he came around the wall, but it was the wrong guy. Like, cause he knew this other guy was tall, so he was aiming high, right? He wanted to hit him in the chest, and he hit this guy right in the face
That's
with chicken
fucking
guts.
funny. So what do you think this was? Was it Krampus?
Bigfoot.
It's a goat!
Bigfoot doesn't have.
You said 4 by 6 inches. That's.
It's a cow.
It's a cow. It's a cow.
It's a
stand.
cow that's been cut in half.
Yeah. To be
It's Satan
honest.
itself.
To be honest, listen. Back then it is 1855, but you got the means. You could cut off a cow's hooves, right, and then make them into stilts, and then you just be like, buddy, here, walk through this. But it went through rivers, streams, and over rooftops, man. Where's the ladder marks, bro? Because all the snow was like clean, other around it. It's very hard to fake. There's been times where they've faked like crop circles, but you can always tell a lot of the times because there's a distance between when they started them and they will lay down boards. You can tell the difference between crop circles that have been created by some sort of maybe alien or fucking government shit to trick people, like actual ships, or people that have actually faked them. You can see the difference between them. I've seen pictures of ones they faked and then ones that they have no idea. Ones that have like messages in them. Messages. So like...
Are they in English and perfectly legible?
Well, no, they're... what's that shit called? We use numbers to like...
Numerology.
No, yeah, but it's like a message. There's a word for it. It's like fucking the Navy uses. Somebody.
Cipher.
Morse
We are
code.
drinking.
cipher.
No, it's not like...
A cipher?
Yeah, like a cipher, yeah. Something like that, right? Where they use numbers and it took forever for people to figure out. We'll talk about it one day if I remember.
I don't even know how to place it, dude.
But the thing is too is it is weird because this is a big thing. Like it could end up being its own episode on its own because there is a little more other details in that. Who knows? But what do you guys think it is? Do you think it was faked? Because it is interesting you brought the Krampus thing, because in European countries, more like Norway and the very like white Swedes, like they would believe in fucking Krampus, and they do the festivals where they whip kids and shit. And
Jesus.
you know about this?
No.
Krampus is the fun one, man.
Yeah, sure. That doesn't sound very
Krampus,
fun. Well, it doesn't sound fun for the kids.
There's stories about Krampus dragging around a fucking bathtub to drown the kids that are bad. You've seen the movie, right?
No.
What? The horror movie's actually really fun. It's got that one comedian actor. I never remember his name, but it's supposed to be, it's like a dark horror kind of comedy. The grandma's like this German grandma, and she'd be like, Krampus is coming to get you, Krampusnacht.
Oh yeah.
And he has like demons and shit like that, little elves. So it's like the opposite of Santa. So he punishes the kids instead of granting them, giving them presents. It's fun times. So maybe it was Krampus. What do you guys think? Was it a fucking phony? Phony.
Probably Goatman. Satan.
I think it's Philip.
Barracudas.
Philip
Barracuda.
the dinosaur.
Philip the goat, man.
I have no idea.
What do you think, Sawyer, man? Get it?
It's a flying cow.
Yeah. I can really kind of see
It kind of reminds me of like that one story you hear about those Russian hikers.
Oh yeah. We covered it, man. Fucking the Dilatov Pass. Yes,
Yeah.
the Dilatov
So
Pass.
these hikers, there's no tracks leading into their campsite, but they all ran out of their tents. Some of them froze, and one went up a tree, didn't he?
Yeah, it's fucked, man.
Froze in
And
the
there
tree.
was bodies like he didn't froze in the tree, but there's bodies that were like miles away from the campsite.
And torn apart.
Torn apart, like their tent looked like it was cut from the inside out. So there's all these different theories. You can go back and you can listen to the 2-parter we did on that.
But there's no footprints because there's no snow.
Listen to the episode we did, Sawyer.
Yeah.
Listen to
But
it.
like, there's nothing that came into it, but it looks like they're escaping from something.
So
Have
we did the
no
basis,
idea what
and
the
then the
hell it
part
was.
2 we did the theories, because there's so many fucking theories about what it could have been. On August 20th, 1966, a young boy flying a kite
Worm.
on a remote and tough-to-access hill
worm.
outside of Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro?
Rio de Janeiro?
But why is it with a J? What
I
bothers
have no
me?
idea.
I don't know why does jalapeno start with a J and it sounds like an H.
It's other cultures, you racist bastard.
Yeah,
I like races. I like watching them. They fucking go fast. Vroom, vroom. It's fun. Come on.
He likes other races as long as they stay in their own country, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's what
as
he
long
said,
as you
yeah.
don't import your culture into my culture that's already existed for. And I know, what we did to the indigenous. I can't change the past, but I actually like indigenous people the most. I grew up with a lot of indigenous friends.
They are awesome.
And they're awesome people. Everyone's awesome. I believe there's one race, the human race. But I think that people that are coming in being like, this is mine now. No, you're not the captain now. I'm the captain. No, you're not. You're not the captain. Get out of here.
Simmer down, sunshine.
Get back and pay your taxes. What are you doing in here?
There's people
Get
that
back
come
in
in
line.
and then we already have people on welfare as it is. There's a lot of white people on welfare. I get it. But there's also more and more people coming in and getting welfare. And then there's fucking people coming in and then getting car loans, the max car loan they can fucking get. And then they think it's funny that they're scamming us and taking all our money. And like, oh, I don't have the money now. Sorry. And they're like, well, we can't kick them back into their own country because we'll be looked upon as racist. Fuck the conservatives, fuck the liberals, fuck everybody. So this boy's flying a kite. It's fucking August. It's the 20th of August. It's 1966. The hippies are out there with their titties flopping around doing acid. So the young boy flies a kite. I mean, a kite.
Wow.
So,
Whoa!
What was that?
he's got a fucking penis foreskin flying around.
That is not what a kite is, but okay.
It's just, I know what it is.
He's out there flying. That's
This
dark.
is definitely for fucking Rumble. It's funny because YouTube may allow this.
What?
Yeah, we're not saying the N-word yet. So, on
What, nuclear?
yes. So in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, found the bodies of two men. This boy's flying a kite, and he's like, "Whoa, fuck!" And he falls and hits his head, and he's like, looks over, and there's dead bodies laying there, two bodies. He ran down the hill and to report to the coppers. You know, he's like, "Oh, how can you do a Brazilian like a Spanish accent?" Like I don't even know how.
I can only do Mexican.
I can only do Mexican too.
Think about that.
I can only do Mexican. I
Try Mexican.
senora, we found these two bodies up at the top of the hill, man. We're not doing something. They're like dead and shit, man. Like they got.
It went Russian. It went
That
Russian.
went full Russian. I was gonna say, chill out, hombre.
Oh, that's French. It's going all over the place. Oh, senora.
Oui, baguette. No, that's not.
Man, they
that's
got
not
no
Mexican.
cash in their
Jesus
wallet,
Christ. I'm bouncing around. I'm getting hot in here.
You got a big old what? Just bass around?
I'm bouncing around.
Oh, I
man.
thought you
High
said there's a
energy.
bass around. I'm like, what? You don't fish up.
Bats around, man.
Oh, fuck, there's not. This is bat country.
There's bat country.
Oh shit.
You seen Fear and Loathing Las Vegas? I'm gonna shit.
Oh,
on
yeah, that's a
you.
great movie. He wakes up with a fucking
Fear and
dragon's tail.
Loathing in Las Vegas.
I mean, there's a lot of foreshadowing.
Man, there's
of,
so
like,
many
Rango.
movies. I'm like, Sawyer, watch it. It's so good.
You know what?
It's so good.
I go outside, dude.
I live
Movies
outside.
are great.
I live
He
outside.
lives outside. Do you see all
Yeah,
these movies?
you only have movies here.
Shut up, bitch.
It's a movie about
You don't have internet.
Hunter S. Thompson, man.
The great
Hunter
words
S.
of
Thompson.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Shut up, bitch.
Shut up, bitch.
I can do that because I play that sound effect all the time. It's just fun because then you
I
hear.
got Netflix.
Ooh, good for you.
I have every
subscribe to
streaming
fucking child
platform 'cause I like
pornography.
to
Good
waste
job,
my
you fucking
fucking
freak.
money.
What?
Yeah, if you've not seen that, Little Cuties. If you got
it
Netflix,
is.
find
Yeah.
Little Cuties. It's basically child pornography. It's like,
What?
hey, this is what's on the
Yes.
menu. It's just children dancing and look like full-grown women.
Yes, it is. It's
I
bad.
haven't heard of this.
Every
Yeah,
Netflix
that's
says,
fucked.
really? You never heard that?
Really?
Netflix has got some heat for that, but they're like, it's fine. People will still do it because it's their only option. They're like, I gotta fucking numb out my shit.
It's only
fuck
$11.
comes up with that?
It's $11.
It's like I pay $5.
What?
How much is Netflix?
I pay $5.
How was that? Oh,
I don't know.
Can I have some more gingy?
I think it's
in this
18
bitch?
bucks
bitch.
now.
Gingy.
ginger ale.
Real.
Oh, ginger
Well,
ale.
that's it. I need to get the ginger
So this
ale.
kid's flying a kite, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then he runs down the hills. He's like, "Coppas, can I get some assistance?"
Kentucky again.
It's I don't know.
No, that was more like,
Coppers us. Hey?
no, there's cops.
So he ran down the hill to find the cops. Because of the treacherous terrain, coroners and first responders. Are you fucking listening? So when
dare you yell at me?
Sensitive.
he ran down the hill
Asshole.
and he reported this to the cops, but because of the treacherous terrain, the coroners and first responders weren't able to get up the hill to recover the bodies until the next day. Like, it's fucking shitty up there, kid. We can't get up there. And it's just like, because they're like, it's, it's Brazil. They're like, woo,
it's
woo, woo. It's like, we can't get up that hill. It's a little cart. And some kids are going, woo, woo, woo.
It's just a donkey.
Yeah, it's a dog.
No, they do have cars.
I know. They also like to fucking steal your
Can
wallets.
they can't go up. They can't go up a hill. Why not?
They don't have helicopters.
Because it runs on the power of booty. And they don't have enough booty.
Oh, Brazil's got a lot of booty.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They have too much booty.
And a lot of chlamydia, but that's beyond the point.
Who gives a shit?
It's a very thefty place. You get fucking stolen. Shit gets stolen. all the time.
Probably.
When the police and firefighters did arrive,
Innocence is
they
one of
found
them.
a very strange scene. Two men were lying next to each other and partially covered by grass. The weird part was that each man was dressed and wore a formal suit. And listen to this. This is weird. And a waterproof coat and a lead eye mask. A lead eye mask. So they're wearing a nice suit, a raincoat, and like a eye mask. Maybe something you sleep in or something. I don't fucking know. It's made out of lead though. Like this thing that covers your fucking eyes, and it's made out of lead. The cops were fucking very confused. Like, we don't really know what the fuck is going on here.
It's probably part of the mafia.
Alongside with two cops was empty water bottles and packets with 2 wet towels inside. Moist towelettes. Then the most cryptically there was a small notebook that had the set time instructions written inside in Portuguese. The instructions, roughly translated in English, was 60:30. Be at specific location. 18:30. Ingest capsules. After the effects, protect metals. Await signal mask. Fucking weird. Whatever the fuck that means.
Why is that a New Jersey accent?
I don't know. I can only do what I can do. I can't do anything. That creeped out investigators even further because they're like, what the fuck? Go to this location, ingest these capsules, and then protect metal awaited signal mask. So that mask is used to protect them somehow from the signal. Like, very weird shit. And the two men eventually identified as 2 Brazilian electronic technicians named Manuel. I cannot pronounce it. Do you want to pronounce this guy's name?
Manuel.
No, it's like Manuel.
Minol. M-A-N.
Pronounce this. Just pronounce. See if you can pronounce either of them.
Manuel Prieta Diaz Cruz.
Yes, and Miguel Jose Vinia.
Jose.
Why did... Yeah, Jose is his
Jose,
name.
yeah. Fucking Jesus.
Jesus.
Hey,
Jesus. Dan,
I know a Jesus. He's a good guy.
Is he?
He is. He's a Mexican. I like him.
I know Zeus.
Remember that sound effect I played on the fucking Revelations? It's like, Jesus, do you love me? And it's like, hey, Jesus, do you love me? It's like, fuck no, brother. It's like, because it's like, Jesus, they said Jesus loves me. It's like, hey, Jesus, do you love me?
Fuck no, bro.
So,
That was a good Mexican accent you just did.
well, I can do it sometimes. When the coroner's report, it might have actually allowed the authorities to come up with some answers in that case. It never came through, at least not in time. The coroner office in Rio de Janeiro, Jesus fucking Christ, was very. It's
He's
funny.
there. Don't worry. He's on a hill.
Was backed up with the cases and medical exams at the time. So the body sat for days on end waiting to be autopsied. By the time the coroner finally got around to it, the organs were too badly decomposed to figure out where the fuck what these men have ingested or the substances they took prior to their death. Since that discovery, it's bizarre and mystery. The mystery persists because nobody knows why. Nobody knows what happened to these guys. And it's such a
Politicians like Justin Trudeau got in the way of this investigation.
Or they're like, hey, can you wait like 5 days to fucking work on the bodies? And he slips in some cash.
You mean you want to wait 5 days?
Want me to wait 5 days? I was like a little Mexican
That was
guy.
like, no,
It wasn't a little Mexican because he's a
5
toady.
days.
That sounded
Man,
more.
you want to wait 5 days?
That sounded more Vietnamese.
I kind of did.
Hey man,
That's the twist. 'cause
Hey,
it was the
man.
Vietnamese that did it.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Hey, man,
you know, fuck me long time.
you see these communists? We love them.
communists.
You tried to fuck me like you fucked my sister, huh?
That's the crazy thing is like during Vietnam, they
Jesus.
just threw people at them. There was too many of them. They fucking slaughtered generations of so many fucking Vietnamese men, just like in the butchery of the death machine of war. Yeah. And the communists took over. Let me know how that is. Let me know how that is over there. It's probably not that good. We're just doing
I do know that there's this one quote that I heard from a movie, One Upon a Time.
One upon a time.
One Upon a Time.
One upon a time now.
Says if they run, they're Viet Cong. If they stand still, that's well-trained Viet Cong.
What's that movie? The one with Clint Eastwood in it, where he's like the ex.
Hamburger Hill.
No. It's when
Gran
he's
Torino.
oh yeah, so fucking. Have you seen Gran Torino?
Get off my lawn.
He like there's like fucking.
I used to stack gooks like you back in Vietnam.
It's fucked.
No,
dude.
Korea. He was in Korea.
It's great film, dude. It's like old school like Clint Eastwood, and he's like he's kind of like this old veteran dude, and these people try to steal his car, and they're like,
Well, he lives in Detroit, and he's before the he grew up in the American Revolution. Went to Korea, loved a wife, and she died, and he had
It's
kids.
fucking so good, dude.
And all the neighborhood got taken over by like Vietnamese and like Korean, and
he does say that gook shit. It's fucked.
yeah,
I used to stack you fucking guys 5 high, 10 high, or whatever. It's like fuck, man. It's like what the shit.
yeah. And he was like a really bitter like veteran, and then he finds out like a lot of the like Vietnamese and Korean that are in his
I'm
neighborhood.
trying to fuck with this girl that's also
No, he finds out they're more alike with him
Yeah.
than his own family that he's raised, and he had a totally wrong perspective.
Yeah.
And he used to be super racist, and he ends up, giving his life to save one girl,
Yeah.
convict a gang.
It's a fucking good because the gang's not good either.
And he
it's
was
a
an
good
old
movie.
white man, so in America they're going to be in real trouble.
Yeah.
You killed an old white man, you're in trouble. We're
No.
going free boy.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's like, you killed someone who's not even from our country, man, you're going to jail forever because he attacked you and your wife. That's what's happening now. It's like, can't protect yourself in this country. It's fine. Just let them murder you. And then they get like a fucking 5 months in jail for murdering your kids.
Yeah.
There's people that like, there's terrorist attacks. There's one, that guy that ran over those kids in, whatever, a Hobart or whatever, that car accident where he killed all those hockey players.
Oh yeah.
The guy got let off. He's being sent back to India. But he's not going to be put in jail to be punished. They're like, oh no, get rid of him. Get him out of the country. So he can go somewhere else and just survive. There is criminals coming from India here that are allowed in, that are terrorists, that are being brought into the country that they're not even allowed in India. Same with like Jagmeet Singh, people like him too. They're not allowed in other countries.
Chugmeat Singh.
Yeah, well, I call him Jagoff. His
No,
name's
it's
Jimmy.
Chug.
His name is Jimmy. It's not even Jagmeet. You're using that for your political career, you fucking retard. Like, that shit's like crazy, man. You're using a fake name so you can fit in with the fucking Sikhs and shit, man. Just wait till I start my political podcast. I'm calling it Tomcast. So this is a fun one. The Ark of the Covenant.
It's a real thing.
This is crazy though. There's a lot of theories I want to dive into.
No, it's fucking real, dude.
The Ark of the Covenant the Ark is considered one of the greatest Indiana Jones movies. I'm just kidding. The greatest of all.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So all 3 of those movies are fucking dope, man.
Oh yeah.
All 4. I like Shia LaBeouf.
It was okay. I would
The
take
newest
that
one bored the fucking shit out of me,
The
man.
Dial of Destiny. Or
watch
the
it.
Dial of Cock, because it sucks.
It was boring,
I didn't
man.
watch it.
It was boring, and everyone's
You
like,
could
"Oh, it wasn't that bad."
The entire movie could go without Indiana Jones.
It's
Oh,
boring.
really?
Yeah, because it's like...
Yeah, because he's like 90.
Yeah, he is like 90. He's well into his 80s, and he's still doing crazy shit.
And Harrison Ford was
and
like,
this chick comes out of the woodworks
Yeah.
like, I can keep up to you. I can go just as fast as you. I'm like, yeah, no shit. He's
shit.
fucking 80.
"You're a woman. Get back in the kitchen." I'm kidding, everybody. It's fine.
It's not 1950 anymore, asshole.
Everybody, we're just jokes.
It wasn't the 1950s, though.
Yes.
We're not in the 1930s, asshole.
Actually, it was in the
They
70s.
still did that shit in the
It was in the
50s.
70s or something like that.
No,
but
I was wrong.
it was
It was
just
70s.
I'm sure people liked it, but it just bored me. It bored me. It was boring.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah. I like fucking...
Do fucking better.
I like Short
really.
Round, man. I like the racist little fucking kid, man. Short Round, man.
Short round?
Yeah, I liked him.
Dr. Jones, calling Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones.
So the Ark of the Covenant, well, the Ark is considered the greatest in all hidden treasures. It's considered would provide indisputable truth that the Old Testament is hard fact. Recovery. Oh, this is the Ark. The Ark that I thought it was the Ark of the Covenant. That's another story too, which could have been used as a power source for the pyramids, like a backup generator almost. So this is if the Ark exists. The Ark, you know of that guy.
Yeah, no, hold on.
What's that?
Did you just say the Ark of the Covenant was used as a generator, as a backup for the pyramids? The fuck did you just say?
That's true.
That's not true.
There's theories that believe that the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah.
Theories.
Mm-hmm.
Very hypothetical theories.
The pyramids were powered by electricity. They can prove this. Now they can prove it. So the Ark of the Covenant was this big thing, and there's a slot, like a chamber in one of the chambers. Billy Carson talks about this. He's done extensive research into this, where it fits perfectly the Ark of the Covenant. So the idea is once you put it in, it like powers up. And it generates power for the pyramids and shit. But when I wrote this out, it's so funny, because I was like, oh yeah, the Ark. And I thought it was the Ark of the Covenant. No, it's the Ark. Like Noah's Ark, that fucking Anunnaki guy. You know? He is an Anunnaki. He did fuck his own kids, didn't he? Yeah. Who did he bring on the fucking vessel then? Who was on the Ark?
Fuck anyone!
How did he have kids? The flood happened.
He had his wife!
His one wife to populate the entire Earth? That would mathematically not even fucking... See, there's fucking holes.
Their kids would have had to smash their in-laws.
Exactly. For generations, the rate of the acceleration of how fast humankind was repopulated was mathematically impossible. That he...
Is it?
Or he was a fucking Anunnaki, and he's like just coming on fucking everything in a worse life.
It just comes in a hole in the ground and a baby pops out.
It's a tree of life.
Oh, okay.
So the Ark is considered the greatest of all hidden treasures, and its discovery would prove that the Old Testament is in fact hard truth. The New Testament I don't know about, but the Old Testament is... It could be correct because we have nice God, bad God, whatever. His recovery remains the goal of every modern archaeologist and adventurer. Its purpose was the container of I am right. The Ark of the Covenant was the container of the 10 Commandments given on the stone tablets to the God and Moses on Mount Sinai, isn't it? Or
Cyanide?
Mount
Sinai?
Mount Sinai.
Is
No,
it?
It's Mount Sinai.
Sinai?
Yeah.
Mount Sinai, is that going to kill you if you fucking ingest it? Cyanide.
Well, hydrogen cyanide.
Germans love that shit.
Yeah.
According to the Book of Exodus, the ark is made of shitty wood. I'm just kidding. It's shit in wood. Look.
Shit and wood?
Of shit in wood.
Shit and wood.
Shit in wood. It's shitty wood.
Shit and wood.
Similar to whatever Archaica.
Oh no, Shit'em was a place.
It's made of shitty wood.
No, Shit'em is a town.
Oh, it's made of
in the
shitty
Bible.
wood, and it's gold covered on the inside and out. It's topped by a mercury seat comprising of 2 cherubs, also made of gold. It is also believed to have supernatural powers due to the several events, including causing the death of man who attempted to steady the ark as the oxen hauling it stumbled, bringing down the walls of Jerusalem in one battle, and showing misfortune
Walls
on
of Jericho, not
Jericho.
Jerusalem.
Jesus Christ, man! I can't read it. You want to read it?
No, I'm just making sure that you're saying it.
Because I did.
If you're gonna
fuck that
pronounce
up. I'm very
this, it's Jericho.
fucking
Mount. Continue.
I'm getting
Walls of
sweaty.
Jericho from the top.
From it, it's bringing down the walls of Jericho. Oh yeah, it is right. I definitely fucked that up. And showering misfortune on the Philistines after they captured it in another. There are several speculations around the final resting place of the ark. Whilst it would take a shrewd operator to find it. If you are brave enough, maybe in foolhardy, the person can open it. I don't know. I think that so is the Ark Covenant. There is
Don't open
theories.
raspberries.
I'm pretty fucking sure that it was used as a power source, if I'm thinking right, and people
How?
theorize because it's like a battery.
How?
That's why I don't want to open it.
How they hook
It's-
it?
it's
How do they hook it up?
Because it's like there's energy, so like Tesla shit. If it's possible, there could be different ways, but the idea is that it's taking vibrational energy from around the atmosphere of the container
That's how you know the Egyptians were wild. It's like,
They
okay,
had
how do we power these buildings? Let's use the power of God.
Well, listen, that's why it's fucking weird, because our shit is primitive. It's like, oh, wires and cables and Wi-Fi is probably in the oceans. There's a lot of 80 to 90% of the Wi-Fi is not from satellites. It's from cables in the fucking ground in the ocean. That's why flat earthers are like, it's fucking flat. It's not satellites. They freak out and shit, right? But there is theories that there's the ability to there's ions and shit all around us all the time. Energy, fields of energy, and shit. Just like poop all the time. That's why the Indians always breathe in the cows and stuff. Breathing cow poopy. And they're using this energy, and they're just fucking
shit.
And they're sucking it in, and then it's able to power shit. I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't fucking know.
So much that eventually, crack the firmament, and then all the groundwater starts.
And then the fucking fish. Some guys like, there's fish coming down from the sky. There's news reports of all these
This
fish.
sounds like a thorough dose of LSD.
Thorough.
There's fish in the air, man.
There has
Do you
been.
ever think that crabs look up and look at fish and be like, wow, look at them fish. I wish I could swim like that one day.
I thought
The way that we look at birds.
Probably. I'm sure, like, shit, man, I got the shit in the stick. Here, let me hide Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Let me hide under this fucking little thing.
Let me hide under this rock from this barracuda.
Do you like my new shell? It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Did you like my new shell? I salivated it this morning.
I don't know what movie there is. It's like some Disney movie where the crab fucking moves in. He keeps getting his better shell. And some guy steals it. And he's like, "Fuck!" I was like, "That's my fucking shell." And he's like, looks all nice in his little shell. I don't know. I'm fucking having fun with
Are you
this one.
Moana? Is that Moana? That's like Moana.
Yeah, maybe.
Where he constantly has like a glaring shell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm so shiny.
I'm so shiny. That's one of the more funner fucking Disney pedophile films. It's fun. I'm just having a good time. Everywhere we're drinking, we don't normally drink like this, so I'm just gonna keep it going. I don't know what the fuck I'm even talking about half the time.
Neither do we.
Starting in May of 1917, something happened to 3 shepherd children in the town of Fatima in Portugal. The events have now become known as Our Lady of Fatima.
Our Lady is Fatima.
What?
God bless you.
Thank you.
Gesundheit.
That just means good.
Guy.
That literally
Shit.
just.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, the lighter's in the garbage somewhere. Oh, we'll find it later.
No, you won't. Find it now or you'll leave it here, too.
This is what happens, man. This is like, everyone's gonna be like, wow, this is like Billy and you guys back in the day. And you guys are now joining the circle. We joked because I'm creating the new logo, and I should add Brett because he's been part of it. So I added him a little. My brother's like, why is Brett so little in the picture? You know the one on Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, well, I was like, he's still being phased in a little bit, right? But and my brother's like, he has to do the ritual, which is you have to get blackout drunk at some point in the show. I've done it. Aaron's done it on Halloween. I did it on St. Patty's Day.
Like pass out during the show.
No, like when I fucking fans know about this shit. It was I took it off everywhere because I watched it one time when it was on Patreon after fact, and then I watched it on mushrooms, and I was like, that has to go. And then I watched another episode. There's one episode me and Billy got fucking wasted on a Christmas episode. So I was like, this is a Patreon thing, and we went off on this transgender rant, like fucking like and there was a fan Dutch. That was like, this is like drunk. Yeah, this is like drunk uncle rants. And I was like, yeah, this has to go. Because I was like, I watched it. I was like, this is not good. But there was, during St. Patty's Day episode, it was dark, green, just completely dark and green in the studio. I was by myself. And then I'm making my own whiskey sour. So I'm taking simple syrup and just lemon juice and making these strong fucking drinks. I'm not even looking at one point. And then I just black out. I start playing this Leprechaun clip over and over again. And then I leave the stream on. I think the stream is done. No, it's still recording. I get up like this. And I fucking fall into the microphone, and then it plays this sad music. It's like, dun, dun. As I'm trying to like get up, this really sad music. I hit on almost in God being like, "You're a fucking piece of shit, aren't you?" Like playing this sad music.
You know you fucking are.
And then Aaron did this on the Halloween episode. He was dressed as the Riddler, and he drank a whole bottle of wine, and then he was chugging fucking Jack Daniels.
Holy.
And then so he's wasted as the Riddler. Well, I'm wearing this mask from this horror movie, this comedy. I can't remember what horror movie it's on, but I put black all around my eyes. So when I took it off, I looked like Batman. So I had all these eyes with fucking black makeup all over my eyes. And I'm like, I look like Batman. I was like, look, I'm Batman. And then we're all drunk at the fucking. I can't remember what Anton was dressed up as. And then Aaron just starts going off about shit. I can see him I can see him when I'm playing clips in the little camera in the bottom, and he's like telling me to drink, and we're watching a video, man, at this time. We're watching like Halloween Haunt stuff, and then he's like, keep drinking. So I was pretending to drink out of the can even though it was empty. I was like, I see what's happening to you. I don't want to be the same.
I don't want to get to that
and
level.
and then people were like, well, Billy's never done it. I was like, but he has. If you guys have joined the Patreon, he did it on New Year's. Where there's one New Year's episode when Justin was still part of the show where Billy got fucking like drunk. And then he was like sleeping on the couch. I was like, is this your New Year's? Is this fun? And I filmed him and he was like, yeah, fuck you. And then I put, so we had like noisemakers and shit, like, brrr. So I put a hat in his mouth. You know those like little hats you strap on the top of your head? I was like, blow the horn, man. He's like, that's all you hear, like going through the hat is like just air, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, can you even see what it is? I'm like, so everyone's done it, so if you want to be part of the show at some point, you got to do it.
You're blackout drunk from just absolutely fucking wasted.
And we have to like turn off everything like at some point.
It's not gonna be good. The thing is like when I get blackout drunk, I start reenacting like war scenes and shit.
That'd be funny, man. Fans probably love that shit. So
I got like so high that I just like spaced out so bad that I started reenacting the Predator. Like started crawling on the ground, like, get down.
Predator.
The Predator's in the tree. Get through the chopper now.
What I have found, at least from like, I think me and you have both done it now, but like when we've gotten too drunk, we pass out.
Yeah.
We're even at the cottage. Brett just like, he got too drunk, he just passed out. He sleeps. I'm like, all right, well that's good to deal with. It's not like when people drink whiskey and they start fighting everybody.
Oh god.
No, I just passed out. I don't have the energy for that.
Oh, I do.
It's like it's time for sleep. I've got some good relaxation happening. It's like it's time to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you gotta do it at least once on live, and then it'll be really part of it and shit. So last story. It's a longer one though. So starting in May of 1917, something happened to the 3 shepherd children in Fatima, as we said. So these children, starting on May 1st, 1917, the children describe seeing a woman, brighter than the sun. They say.
She whiter than me?
Oh, you just saw Billy the other day. We were live streaming, and Billy's like, what the fuck did you do to the camera? And I was like, nothing. And he's like, I look so white. And it was like he was glowing white. And he's like, the contrast on the shit sucks. And I was like, it's your camera. He's like, you gave it to me. I was like, well, figure it out. And he was like, I swear I'm not this white. I've been out in the sun. And he's like freaking out. And I'm like, no, you're fucking white, man.
You're pale.
So starting on May 1st, 1917, the children began to see this woman. She was brighter than the sun, shedding the rays of a light clearly and stronger than a crystal ball, piercing the burning rays of the sun. The being was reported to have appeared to the children on the 13th day of the 6 consecutive months in 1917, starting on May 13th. According to the 10-year-old Lucia Santino, in the course of her encounters, the woman confided to the children 3 secrets, known as the 3 secrets of Fatima. Thousands of people flocked to Fatima, and whatever the fuck... Adjustral? Come on. This is what me and Billy always do. We're like, okay, what?
Astriel?
Astriel. In the ensuing months, drawn by reports of visions and miracles. So this woman showed up that was brighter than the sun, and then people started coming to this place. This is how people can make money eventually. Like a lot of ghost people do this. Like, oh, there's a ghost in the house. You want to come see the ghost? And then they're like fake shit.
$50.
Because that happens too. I think that stuff is real. There's stuff that's definitely not real. On 3 separate occasions before the miracle of the sun, the children reported the lady had promised to them that she would, on October 13th, 1917, reveal her identity and provide a miracle, so they may all believe. It was bitch Jesus. It was female Jesus.
I thought you said baby Jesus, and I was like,
Baby Jesus is bitch Jesus.
it was bitch Jesus.
Beast Jesus?
That's so fucking.
It's not a thing though.
That's not a thing at all. No.
There's there's fans that people. There's a comedy show called Kill Tony, and
Baphomet.
there's
Yeah, he's coming.
is
Did
he?
you hear him?
I know, I heard that too. Is that weird?
It's a demon.
You got a demon here?
Yeah.
Hey, devil, if you're here, knock 3 times.
Nope, just my cousin.
Oh, you're fucking freaking us out there, man. We're talking about demons and shit. So, on October 13th, the miracle of the sun witnessed and reported by 50,000 to 100,000 people. So that's a big gap. That's a 50,000 people gap of who saw this. So this is in Portugal. The people in attendance had assembled to reserve this publicized event. According to many of the statements after the downfall of rain, the dark clouds broke and the sun appeared. And there was a spinning, shining disc in the sun. So these children claim they see this woman that was brighter than the sun. Then everyone comes to attendance because at this time they believe the kids. They're not burning them because they're witches. You know what I mean? Like they used to. And then it is said that it was significantly duller than normal. It's like, it's too bright. It's not bright enough. You know, it's not the real sun. And it cast multicolor lights across the earth and the surrounding clouds. The sun was then reported to careen towards the earth in a zigzag pattern. It was said that people previously wet clothing became suddenly dry. So they were like, the downpour of rain. Because there was a downpour of rain, the clouds parted, there was this fucking great, like, sun, right? You get it? And then it started changing colors. It's a UFO, like 100%. There's a lot of videos now that have came out. Like you can, if you look up UFO videos on YouTube, you'll see like a ton of these ones that like change colors all the time. Me and my buddy have looked at telescopes and seen this shit. It's fucking weird, man. I swear to God.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'll show you, Sawyer. We'll get out some binoculars, some binocs, they call them.
Some binocs.
And I'll fucking show you some shit. So there's things like moving around, zigzag patterns, doing all crazy shit. And like, what the fuck is that? And so people's clothing then became dry from the fucking radiation, maybe, of the ship, you know, because that could be a possibility.
And then they all went insane and killed each other.
And they started dancing for the next...
They started dancing. I mean, it goes full circle. So as well as the wet and muddy ground that had been soaked before because of the rain, now became dry. According to reports, this lasted approximately 10 minutes. And people are just like, you know, it was fucking weird shit. The miracle of the sun was marked by a large amount of angel hair over the land. So, you know what angel hair is?
PCP?
Pasta.
Oh.
That's actually a funny joke. No, there's reports of this that they actually got samples of this stuff. I was gonna actually add in the angel hair phenomenon that happened. Billy Duck, but but it was like goopy. It looked like jizz. There's like jizz all over the ground. It was like this goopy substance.
Aliens just spraying jizz everywhere.
Yeah, from their ships.
They're all standing on the guardrail.
But there's this like goop that people did find at the time. Weirdly, this weird substance all over the land.
Did they eat it?
I hope not. Someone said, "That's not corn syrup." Yeah,
And then he started dancing.
and then he fucking died. On July 13th, 1917, the lady has said to entrust the children with 3 secrets. These secrets have been highly controversial in the Catholic Church and have been revealed to the public at different time periods, with the final one coming in 2000. We've already been there and done that. How old is this article? The first secret was allegedly the vision of hell. The second secret was the statement that World War I would end, and goes on to predict World War III. The second half of the secret includes information about Russia and requests that it becomes concentrated to the Immaculate Heart. Concerted to the Immaculate Heart. I don't know what the fuck that means. It should be noted that the second secret wasn't revealed until 1941, after World War II had already begun. So they do this shit where like, it's a fucking secret. We're going to tell you right at the perfect moment, so everyone, it's all bullshit. The majority of this controversy with the third secret is revealed in 2000, includes information about the persecution of Christians in the 20th century that culminated in the fail of the assassination attempt of Pope John Paul II. However, many historical references to the third secret indicates that something else entirely, with information regarding the apocalypse and satanic infiltration of the Catholic Church, which has obviously happened. Like, look at the new pope, man. He's like,
He's gay.
aliens are coming. It's okay to be gay. And he's like fucking going off like crazy. And now they're like doing the exorcism shit too, where they're like, they've come out with these documents that say that like that there's people that believe that they're possessed by demons and that it's recently too. They're like, we're now giving this document about apparitions and people being possessed by demons, and they're letting it out to the public. So what does that mean? That means that more and more people are perceiving and thinking that they're seeing this stuff. There's that, you hear about that demon face thing recently? Where on the news, the mainstream news, like, there's a new delusion. People think
Demon
that they're
face, yeah.
seeing demon faces in people. So now the mask, they're revealing stuff. Apocalypse means to reveal something. So there's all these people are starting to see all this fucking crazy shit happen. And then they're like, oh, we got to cover this up. People are crazy. You know, that's what they always do. The media is like, these people are fucking nuts, right? So pretty weird. If you are unfamiliar, there is one of the great apostasies, which is a formal disaffliction form or abnormament of a religious person, basically the criticism of a person's form of religion. In the 1980s, John Paul II was quoted on The Third Secret. It should be significant for all Christians to know this much. If there is a message, it is said to be that the oceans will flood entire sections of the earth, and from one moment to the other, millions of people will perish. So, like another apocalyptic prophecy, you know?
All right.
Really weird,
Predicted
eh?
from a Kentucky man again.
I know. It's a fucking...
It's always
It's
Colonel
all the
Sanders,
accent I know,
every time.
man.
I say, boy, I say.
What do you guys think it is, man? What do you think? Because this woman appeared that was brighter than the sun, and then these children saw it, and then everybody else came, and they're like, all these children, I'm surprised they didn't be like, these children are crazy, why are we listening to these kids, right? But they didn't. They proceeded to come down to this place and be like, and listen to these kids, and then an event happened where a UFO showed up and started shining lights, and then gave them some sort of secrets. But if your kid's like, whatever, 8, 9, 6, and they're like, well, I got secrets from this bright woman, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, I got these secrets. This woman, she's very shiny. And you'd be like, well, okay, so what did she say? Would you believe your kid or would you not?
I don't know. It depends how compelling the story was.
I'd be like, how much fun?
What if your kid say he saw Jesus? Would you
I know.
believe
I'd
that?
be like, I'd show him pictures of what people think Jesus looked like. Did he look like this? Did he look like this?
Do you look like this white bearded man?
I'd tell him to stop.
Was he white? I want to solve this. Ku Klux Klan has to know.
I'd tell him to stop hanging out under the bridge.
Yeah. This crazy guy in bath salts is being like, there's a shiny woman in the clouds.
I can see her right there.
That's funny. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, that was a fun time. I actually really enjoyed that shit. You know, we all got off the rails a bit, but that's what happens on some of these episodes.
Sorry for the insults and racial slurs.
It's what it is, man. I said
That's not what he said.
I said the K word, man.
I know. What's
I
the matter
said
with
kite,
you?
okay? Kite. That's what I said.
That's not what he said.
No, there was another
said-
K in there.
Hike.
The special K.
Everyone knows how I feel about that shit. So, everybody subscribe everywhere you can to Instagram, fucking X we're on now, Strange Brewcast. We're trying to do our thing. Rumble, like, subscribe, all that shit.
Stay thirsty.
And yeah, stay strange.
Stay sexy.
Take nothing seriously. So he's to stay sexy. He's got no sleeves on, so he's all about that.
No, it's hot outside. I sweat like a pig.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Because I cut off my sleeves because I have to show off my muscles.
My big rippling biceps. Everyone has to know what's up.
I'm just trying not to sweat through all my clothes and look like a sticky ball of shit.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
All right. You know what to do? Yes. Fucking have fun, everybody, with this shit. Peace.